Hello folks, we again are meeting with Coert Coetzee from the Wealth Masters Club. This is the second event that we're talking about, and Coert is going to take us through some of the issues around trusts and how we form them and what to do with them. And Coert, thank you. Your first session with us was fascinating. So Coert, many business people have trusts. How does Wealth Masters Club use trusts to hold these different trusts, these whole different assets?
The first thing that people must always think about when they think about trust, if they have a trust, is ask yourself, is this trust of mine exactly the same as my neighbor's trust? And I think they will find it is. Something that they download from Google, I don't know where, the attorneys and the accountants, and they have it registered with the court, and then they think they have a trust. That trust is worthless. A trust is something that should be specifically for you, your family, your situation, your business. And it is not just one trust, it's about the structure of trust. So for a business person, for example, a business owner should have his, let's take a factory for example, a furniture factory. All the equipment, all the tools, and everything on that factory floor, furniture, even the vehicles, the movables, everything should be in an asset trust. A company asset trust. Now that's something that you will not find anywhere.
Not a personal trust.
No, not a personal trust.
A company asset trust.
Company asset trust. And then we put the shares of the company in another trust, not in the same trust where the assets are. Because you see, it's about risk. Just for record, my background, my official background, I'm a risk manager by profession. But then we have the shares in a different trust because the shares carry risk. And then we have the operations which can be done with a Pty limited company, if they want to. Yeah. I actually prefer a Pty limited company in South Africa because of our excellent Companies Act that we have. So you do it in there. But that is also where the danger is in the company. That is where, say for example, this furniture factory, now there's a recession and nobody's ordering your furniture anymore. And then it's just a matter of time before the creditors will start knocking on your door. And that is then, if you do not have the structures in place, they will show up with a court order to write up everything on that factory floor and to close you down. Now, when it happens to one of our members and the sheriff shows up on the door with his court order to write up everything on that factory floor, we will give him written proof that everything on that factory floor does not belong to this company.
So you're an insurance company as well. You're helping us protect our assets.
Yeah. You see, when a sheriff shows up, we will have the written proof of all these documents proving that all the tools and equipment belongs to another entity, which has nothing to do with this company, except for the fact that this company is a client of that entity. It leases all this stuff every month from that trust. So there's nothing for the sheriff to write up here. There's absolutely nothing. Then normally they tend to go after the shareholders eventually. And then it will discover the shareholder is another trust. And this is just a shell. There's nothing else in that trust than the shares that is now worthless. That is
Good.
So all you have to do as a business owner is cross the street, get in your premises, and you're still in business.
That is very, very clever. Very clever. So in turn, what made you start this journey to developing your specialized trust structures?
Yeah, I discovered many years ago, back in '96, I discovered that the richest person in the world those days, the unofficially richest person in the world, who was actually the biggest property owner in England, the Duke of Westminster, that he was controlling the assets of 18 forefathers. And when I investigated how is it possible to control assets of 18 forefathers, because I do not have the assets of my forefathers, and neither do you, and so on. So there's a problem in South Africa, or everywhere in the world, and it's not just a South African problem, it's everywhere in the world, even in England. So then I discovered the Duke is holding his assets, his forefathers' assets, in a trust, a 400-year-old trust already. That's the nice thing about a trust, it can live forever.
Just on that point, a trust has to have an independent trustee.
Yes, that's right.
Now, here I am, I have my trust, but suddenly my independent trustee dies.
Yeah.
What happens?
Okay. Then you can just appoint another one. It is not a problem. But with us, with our structure, just to make sure that it's not a risk for us, you will not have a natural person as an independent trustee. If you're our client, for example, we have a company, Treasury Trust Services, which is specially set up and is to the test of time already for many, many years. So that company will be your independent trustee.
Okay.
And the company cannot die.
I'm with you. Okay, so the independent trustee doesn't die, but meneer,
You don't like
I
him.
don't like you.
You fire him.
So I can fire you?
You can fire him. If it is us, and I'm on record here, if one of my companies, Treasury Trust Services, if my company is the independent trustee,
Yeah.
I guarantee if you don't want us to be there anymore, you just give it to us in writing, and we will resign immediately.
Right. So there's a comfort.
Yeah, because there's no higher risk than to be a trustee on a trust where you're not welcome. Because that independent trustee carries risk with you as the other trustee in terms of the law.
Yes.
I mean, you are responsible for all the decisions taken in that trust, legal or illegal. So we don't want to work with somebody who's not happy with us anymore. It's not necessary for there to be a gap there. You just go to the, we will assist you even, but anyways, to the master of the court.
Yes.
And ask them officially with a resolution, which we will also sign, that you want to replace us with a new one, and then you name the new one. So it is immediately from us to your new
So it's all formal, the processes are done compliant to the laws of South Africa.
Always.
And in turn, I as the owner or the man of straw, if you can say it like that, know that my assets are cared for the heritage and the generations to come. Again, you're going to be talking about these subjects on the 5th of May.
On the 5th,
and then also again on the 8th of May. Thank you.